Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta
Ulong-ulong ko gud imiherap.
Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Sarasvati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Satarine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvya Evacha Patitanam Pavanevyo Vaishnavevyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhaktabinda. Everyone, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, before we start, sino dito nakapanood na ng movie? Yung film review. Ooh. So, such a nostalgic din yun kasi some of it are coming from mga old documentaries. Pero during that time, it was actually made by a couple. They traveled together with the Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Then they documented this. So imagine the hard work kasi hindi pa digital noon. They have rolls of films doing that, and also may photographer din, and um, they're documenting all of this. And ang ganda ng part where sila George Harrison joined and also practiced Krishna consciousness. It made a lot of impact. And parang yung pinag-uusapan natin kasi he used his duties, responsibilities, his hats that he is wearing in connection sa spirituality. So, may mga taong ganon up front, may mga taong behind the scene or just, closet, they're doing or practicing by themselves. They just have a teacher and all. So, iba-ibang stages of those who are practicing bhakti. It doesn't mean na we can practice now or marami tayong disqualification feeling natin that we will stop na. So wherever you are at now, right now, yung stage na meron ka, that's the best place and the best time. So it's hindi siya all or nothing. So like, 'di ba, hindi nga siya competition, encouragement siya. Encouraging community. Iba-iba. Yung iba sa atin nagsimula na previous lives. That's why tinutuloy na lang ngayon. Kung mapapansin nyo, very natural yung iba, or like kung ano nararamdaman nyo, very natural. But parang inaalala mo lang uli yung previous na knowledge and also yung practice. So most probably, some of you started previous lives pa lang. Just recently. Hindi nyo na matandaan kasi forgetfulness is there. So yes, my next film review tayo. This is in application naman how these Bhakti yogis are applying it in their daily lives. Hindi lahat, of course, are monks or living in the temple. Yung iba, they have may regular job, work, family, and all responsibilities. How one could practice it. So let's continue kasi this pinag-usapan natin is like a sandwich. Yung essence ng Bhagavad Gita. From the Vedas, then the Mahabharata. Then from the Mahabharata, sa gitna nung nangyari doon is the Bhagavad Gita. And from the 18 chapters ng Bhagavad Gita, the middle 6 chapters, and the middle 6 chapters, may chapter 9 and 10, sobrang importante. So we are entering the realm ng essence of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10. Bakit essence? If you learn these few texts, you are actually studying the whole Bhagavad Gita. So, fortunate are we na we are able to study here. So, previously muna, of course, King. Ito yung ating acronym. Last chapter 9, Thursday. So, knowledge is the king of all knowledge. We have a lot of knowledge. We have a lot of courses at school. We have a lot of departments of knowledge. But these are pertaining to material energy ni Krishna. Skill set and all. And most of it are also in the Vedas. King of knowledge because may direct connection to the Supreme. May direct description ng mga gusto, ng mga ayaw niya, yung mga pastimes niya. So this is secret of all secrets. Kasi you could easily avail these books, but without the proper mood, you don't have the key. Many attempted to translate this, to study this scholarly, di ba? Maraming sa teachers training program yung mga nag-aral dito have also studied Bhagavad Gita. But how much did we really understand in depth? So having that key, of course, having the teacher that is really connected, having the association, and also having the right mood. Kaya secret of all the secrets is the perfection of religion kasi one could experience this, will perceive it through experience. Hindi siya theoretical lang. Just like chanting. So if you're chanting, you could see the difference. A day without chanting and a day with chanting. And imagine, we've been chanting for many weeks pa lang. How much more if we are chanting for years na or decades na? What's the effect sa consciousness natin nun? So, in just few days, few weeks, may ganito ng pakiramdam. So, we are perceiving this through experience. Also, yung mga topic natin, I'm not the body, I'm the spirit soul. Diba? You can, from the theory, you can observe sa buhay natin. You're growing you're having white hairs na. Yung forehead mo, 5 head na. Lumalapad na siya. Or the skin, di ba? Mayroon ng wrinkles. Tapos, dati, ang dali mag-diet. Ngayon, after 30, 40s. Diba? Onting kain lang, hirap na. Hirap na i-burn ng calories, di ba? Dati, kahit party. Mapuyat ka lang dati sa party, kayang-kaya. Mapasok ka sa work ng puyat, di ba? Ngayon, hindi na. Para tayong, alam mo yun, onting kilos kailangan magpahinga. Tapos powerful na yung mga nap natin. Diba? May evidence yung old age. Which is, we're not the body, we're the spirit soul. So this, yung mga inaral natin, you can directly perceive it. Diba? Of course, may mga bagay na hindi. Just like the computation and yung distance ng mga bawat planets. This will be discussed sa Srimad Bhagavatam. If you are really fan of this astronomy, Vedic cosmology, I've uploaded one video sa YouTube channel ng Monk in the Middle. So it wasn't, I did not made this one. In-upload ko lang doon kasi walang nag-upload. So right computation ng mga stars, planetary systems, even history ng humans, andun. So dinocument din siya. So search nyo dun sa channel, Vedic Cosmology. But anyway, another one is Susukam Kartumabeyam, joyfully performed. Kasi we are using our senses. Hindi natin sinosuppress. The tongue, we could still speak, we could still sing, we could still dance. But we have to connect that to spirituality, to Krishna, as an offering. The talents, the skills, even your yoga, even money, you have to connect that to the Supreme. And that will give meaning sa mga ginagawa natin. Inconceivable relationship kasi, just like the Sanskrit, Achintya Veda Veda Tattva. Very simple. Achintya, inconceivable. Pero simple lang siya, for the simple. The simultaneous oneness and difference natin and kay Krishna. Paano yun, Radhacharan? The soul, the minute soul, tayo yon, and the super soul, si Krishna. So may drop of water from ocean and may ocean. Same thing, yung drop of water, maalat pa rin siya. Sodium and H2O pa rin siya. Same nung ocean, di ba? Pero yung drop of ocean, ano magagawa niya? Hindi niya kaya magkaroon ng tsunami. Hindi niya kaya maging wave para makapag-serve yung tao. Hindi niya kaya mag-take shelter sa kanya yung mga living entities. So, minute lang tayo in quantity. So, kasi galing tayo doon sa ocean, same thing, we are part and parcel of the Supreme. Pero, when we come back to the Supreme, we don't lose our identity. So, simultaneously, oneness and difference. So, si PY pa rin siya. Maybe iba yung name niya. And meron siyang spiritual body. Pero hindi siya, eternal yon, but hindi siya mawawala. Just like the green bird na pumunta dun sa green tree. Hindi siya magiging tree. Bird pa rin siya dun sa tree. So, same thing with us. The other practice, philosophy that we are all one, you and I are same. Di ba, may mga ganito naririnig tayo. This is coming from impersonalist philosophy. And the essence ng philosophy nila, after they die, they will merge. Tapos mawawala na identity nila. So, in the Vedic scriptures, hindi ganon. Yung ganong beliefs are just watered down ng knowledge. Non-worshipped, we have those who are Duratma and Mahatma. We want to be the great souls. We want to elevate ourselves, not just to become human. So, struggling na tayo maging human pa lang. From the diet, from the lifestyle, diba? From the, wala tayong vices, regulation ng buhay natin. Just to uplift ourselves para maging human pa lang. Hindi animalistic. Pero pag sa human platform tayo, para tayo magiging great souls. Of course, if we are connected to the great, to the Supreme. So, Mahatma. The Mahatma is great soul. Maha is great. Atma is soul. So, paano tayo magiging great soul? If we have the association of those other great souls. And the glories of Bhakti, of course, it was discussed. Yung highest and the beyond this mysticism, beyond this impersonalistic. Those are maybe the stages. Pero the glories of Bhakti is one is connected. They have this confidentiality, relationship to the Supreme. So, inhale. We are entering chapter 10, session 30 na tayo. 13th day na natin ngayon. So, the opulence of the Absolute. So, we will see yung opulence, yung greatness of the Absolute or the Supreme. So, laging ganito, di ba? Yung mga tao is to see is to believe. Hindi ko lang kung may makakalala kayong ganito. Kailangan nakita muna nila para may evidence muna para totoo. And those who don't have faith, but they have faith sa science, gusto nilang makita muna, sige nga, show me God. Di ba yung mga story na ganon? Show me your God. Diba? Then they will explain, of course, just like the brain. You cannot see it, but you know it's there. Just like the wind. Diba? Unless it touches some object na pwedeng gumalaw, then you will know it's there. Or maybe the signal sa ether. Diba? You won't get this Wi-Fi or your phone signal if without it. Pero hindi mo makita. It just means that we have imperfect senses. How? Our sight, diba? Pag may sino may salamin, yan si Blar may salamin, saka si Carly. Dati may salamin din ako, sobrang kapal. So, feel ko to. Nagpa-LASIK lang ako 10 years ago. So, feel ko to. Imperfect senses. Di ako makabasa when I was commuting back in college. Diba? Pagkasakay ka ng mga shuttle, FX, or jeep, lalagpas na siya kasi bago mo mabasa, malapit na siya or lalagpas na siya yung nakasulat. Diba? Pag malabong mata mo ganun, or madilim palalo, diba? So, paglagpas ng jeep, sayang na pinara ko. So, but anyway, imperfect senses. Kahit even 20/20 yung senses natin, yung eyes natin, I mean, Hindi pa rin katulad ng mga nocturnal animal. If you're a photographer, alam mo yung ISO, diba? Alam mo yung aperture. Mas grabing kumuha ng light yung eyes nila. Yung eyes natin, hindi, blurry, grainy na. Yung ears natin, imperfect din. We can only hear certain decibels. Yung dog, di ba may whistle na sobrang tahimik, pero yung dog naiirita. Or, they could hear pag may mga danger, di ba? Naririnig yung vibration. Or just like the dolphins, may sonar. They could talk through it. Or yung mga bats, di ba? So, imperfect senses tayo, hindi perfect yon. So, ang dami. The smell natin, di ba? Hindi mo malaman kung saan galing yung smell or yung taste, di ba? May iba dito. Ganun din. Or tone deaf. Or even the skin, hindi mo alam yung nararamdaman mo. Kung ano yun, hair ba yun? Or insect? Or whatsoever, di ba? So, we have material senses. How come that we could, or we are expecting that we could see or perceive the Supreme with our imperfect senses? So, ito yung main question palagi. We want to see. Kung totoo, we want to see. But Krishna is explaining, Krishna is everywhere. And we could see Krishna through hearing. But of course, if one is really pure, he could see Krishna directly without that contamination. Di ba, may mga ritual tayo, may mga cleansing, may mga sages, may mga energy healing, di ba? Tapos pag tinatanggal na ni Krishna yung mga unwanted baggage natin, wag. Di ba? Ayaw natin. Cleansing nga yung gusto natin. Tinatanggal na, di ba? Tinatanggal yung mga attachment natin, tapos kapit na kapit pala tayo. Tinatanggal pala yung ex mo sa buhay mo, tapos kapit na kapit hindi ka makamove on. Cleansing ka pa. So, but anyway, kidding aside. So, these are the things that we're too much attached. We cannot see. Di ba pag in love or obsessed yung isang tao, wala na siyang makitang iba. Pati yung friends niya, nakalimutan na niya. Di ba? Lahat ng tingin niya, nakikita niya yun. So, same thing. It doesn't mean na hindi tayo pwedeng, or hindi kayo pwedeng magkaroon ng relationship or, alam mo yun, feel yung intimacy sa mga partners and all. But there are things beyond it, spiritually beyond it. So, bakit see? Kasi, we want to see the absolute, the opulence of Krishna. So, at ulit, di ba nag-uusap si Arjuna sa si Krishna? Nasa middle pa rin sila ng battlefield. Hindi pa rin nag-start yung war. Nagkataka na yung mga tao doon. Pero, just few hours lang to, yung conversation nila. Diba? If you will read yung translation, ay yung usapan nila. Benefits of hearing more. Kasi si Arjuna wants to hear more. Pinapaulit-ulit niya si Krishna. He wants to expound, to go deeper. Not just for himself, but para sa atin. So, yung compassion niya, hindi lang for other people, for the future generations. So, if one is hearing more, he will be fixed in devotional service. Just like if one is in anxiety, di ba? To help them, you will ground them. Don't worry, andito ka lang. Ako yung kaibigan mo. You must breathe. Then don't worry. You can sit, you can drink water. Then everything's gonna be fine. Things will have some solution. If not, don't worry. If you don't have any solution, why worry? If you have any solution, then why worry? So, we have to remind palagi. Same thing with ourselves, diba? We have to be reminded. So, ganun din sa spirituality. We always wants to be reminded. Kasi, our mind will go, sasama siya kay Maya in illusion. Malilibang siya ulit. So, we have to ground it. So, by hearing. So, we will be fixed. And also, it will enhance. May improve niya. Remember yung faith to love. Papakita natin. So, from faith to love. So, continuously yung hearing. We must always hear sa teacher. Hindi one time last magaling ka na, tapos you don't want to hear. You don't want to be teachable or trainable na. So, spirituality a forever process. Kahit 50 years ka nang kahit monk ka pa, you want to still hear. I've witnessed this even when I'm serving my spiritual teacher, spiritual guru. Every time, lagi siyang, alam mo yun, continuously hearing from his guru, from the Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and even though ilang beses na niya binanabasa, tinuturo niya rin, we must continuously hear and not think na, I know. I know everything. So, ano qualification? Sabi ni Krishna, because you are my dear friend. Sabi niya kay Arjuna. And, even though hindi natin alam yung mga bagay-bagay, hindi natin maintindihan pa, the eagerness is the most important thing. If you are eager to hear. Remember, this knowledge is spiritual. Hindi siya masusukat sa material knowledge na kailangan makuha yung process. Even sobrang talino na scholar would not get this without the key. So another key there is the eagerness to hear. So ito yung sinasabi natin. So all the process here, from starting sa faith, kahit may eternal love na sila, they still want to hear, to listen. So ito yung in-explain ni Krishna kay Arjuna. Forever student tayo. Hindi mo matatapos yun. Kahit mag-PhD ka pa, forever student pa rin tayo ng buhay. We're continuously learning from all experiences, failures, and success. The first class learning is we learn from others' experiences. Just like now, experience ni Arjuna to eh. We're learning from him. Ayaw maniwala that you're not the body. Okay, walang problema. Or ayaw maniwala na you will, the body is material, the soul is eternal. Walang problema rin. So may next class of learner, they want to experience. And the lowest class of learner that even though they experience, paulit-ulit pa rin sila. Martyr, kumbaga. Masyadong marupok. Paulit-ulit lang. So letter S, source of everything. So ito yung tinuloy lang natin to. So source of everything is Krishna. Sabi ni Krishna kay Arjuna, I shall speak for your benefit knowledge that is better than what is already explained. So, ito na yung nasa climax sila ng usapan nila. Sabi ni Krishna, I shall explain to you knowledge na hindi pa napag-usapan or much more better sa mga napag-usapan natin and napag-usapan ng mga ibang tao. That's why this is the essence. Appreciating Krishna's position leads to surrender. So we must know Krishna's position. Bakit yung inaral natin for the last chapters, we are knowing our position and Krishna's position. So para siyang wake-up call sa atin, playing to stop ourselves playing God. Na tayo yung sentro ng mundo. No, we are the humble servants. So we must know Krishna's position. So if you're ready for this, the essence of Bhagavad Gita, the main texts, this is what I'm saying a while ago. Appreciating Krishna's greatness, then you can appreciate His sweetness. So another analogy dito, if fan ka ng isang tao, siyempre sobrang galing niya or sobrang sikat siya or sobrang powerful, diba? Then you want to get to know his life. Tapos makikita mo, he's a family man, great character, diba? Sino ba tong Matrix? Sinong ano to? Keanu Reeves, diba? Galing niyang actor, diba? Very professional. Tapos malalaman mo yung character niya behind the camera. Diba? Uy, okay ah. Pero maraming ganong character din. Pero mas na-appreciate mo siya kasi nakita mo yung greatness niya. Same thing kay Krishna. Now we are learning His greatness. Tapos beyond that, mayroon pa mas magandang matutunan from Him. His sweetness. Siya rin yung pinaka-sweet sa lahat. For us to appreciate the sweetness, we must know the greatness. May perfect example nito may kausap lang ako kanina tungkol sa food. In the Vedic practice, yung iba ginagawa pa rin to. There's a way how to, hindi lang scientific pero an art, hindi lang cooking, an art in eating. So, yung mga high-end na mga Vedic na mga serving ng food, restaurants and all, they serve according din sa, according syempre sa dosha or sa Ayurvedic yon sa body. So, it's a medicine. Make your food your medicine. Pero sa taste, ginagamit din nila to. They first serve yung mga bitter. Then, yung mga bitter, of course, yung mga bitter gourd, bitter melon. We have the bitter stick. Or meron silang tinatawag na karela, fried ampalaya. Sarap nun. Parang medyo cheap yung dating. Then they will serve mga bitter sour, then sour, pungent, tapos salty, spicy, hot, tapos alam ko may astringent din doon, and bandang huli yung sweet. So pag dinaanan mo yung mga yon, isipin mo yung journey kapag kumakain ka, di ba? Then may end mo sa dessert, sa sweets. Sobrang tamis niya. So, eto rin yung kapag kumakain ka, you have all this taste na satisfied. Hindi mo na kailangan para mag-crave pa. So, ito yung mga art ng mga magagaling magluto. Kaya na lang ilagay sa mga meal to. Malalasahan mo lahat sila. Of course, different serving din. So, same thing. For us to appreciate Krishna's sweetness, kailangan maintindihan natin yung greatness niya. We cannot just jump immaturely. So now, we are learning. So, this is letter E, essence of Bhagavad Gita. Chapter Sloki Gita. Chapter is 4. Chaturanga. Diba? 4 anga, 4 limbs. Pansinin niyo yung chaturanga, para yung sa exercise, anong tawag doon? I forgot the term sa calisthenics, pag yung working out ka sa core. Like kind po siya, planking. Ang galing ni Mara. Di ba pag nagaganito ka, yung time nag-extend. Okay, 1 minute na planking. Okay, chaturanga. Parang 5 minutes, di ba? So, ganun yung time. Papag-usapan natin yun sa chapter 15. Ganun yung time. Ashta is 8, di ba? Of course, Chatur, 4 Sloki Gita. The 4 main verse sa Bhagavad Gita. So, before we go sa mga verses, don't be overwhelmed with the terminologies. Sap or Sambandha Bidaya Prayojana. Ginagamit natin to, or we can use this. The relationship ng isang person sa isang person, or isang activity sa activity na yun. So, knowing our relationship to the Supreme. And paano natin makukuha yun? Atin yung process. And of course, ano yung result? So, if you want to be a yoga teacher, ito yung relationship na gusto mo makuha. Ano ang attaining process? You have to study, learn, enroll, di ba? Be certified. At yung result, makukuha mo yun. So, parang the plan, the goal, or objectives. The plan, the objectives, then the goal, or the results. So, 10.8, 10.9, 10.10 to 11. So, get your Bhagavad Gita. We'll read some texts. PY will read the translation after I recite the Sanskrit. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mataha sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. Translation.
I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who will perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts.
So here, Krish, thank you, PY. Krishna is explaining the material world came from Krishna, even the spiritual world. So he's the source of all sources, even the demigods. So we discussed this also. So, if you want to learn much more, nasa Srimad Bhagavatam yun. We discussed this few months ago dun sa morning classes. But, sige, I'll show you some um, illustration ng universe para meron tayong onting knowledge regarding this. Actually, the material world is just one-fourth ng creation ni Krishna. So, bakit gano'n? Kung may pwede ka magtanong, bakit gano'n, Radhacharan? If Krishna consciousness is, according sa scriptures, according kay Krishna's the highest, of course, consciousness sa kanya, bakit onti lang yung nagka-practice? Bakit yung iba hindi alam? This is in comparison kasi ito lang yung nakikita natin in this material world. But actually, in the whole spiritual world, these are the practice. Krishna conscious sila. Kaya yung Sanskrit na word, language is we call Devanagari. Ito yung language ng mga demigods and all others. And what we are trying to learn now, even pumunta ka sa ibang body, demigod ka or demon, same pa rin siya. So, kahit eternal knowledge nga. So, ito siya. I'll show you something. Sana makita nyo to. So, short description ng creation. So, this is the spiritual world. So, hindi siya ganito yung ratio. Example lang siya. So, the universe, the spiritual world. Sa universe na to, we have, of course, si Lord Vishnu din, incarnation ni Krishna. Then lumabas si Lord Brahma sa navel with a lotus. Then secondary creator or architect si Lord Brahma. Then in one universe, there are different planetary system, higher, lower, hellish, and heavenly planets. So kaya material world pa rin yung heaven, saka yung hell. And sa gitna yung earthly planets. So nakita nyo maraming bubble. Those are different universes. Just like egg. So, 3/4 ng creation Krishna is the spiritual world. This is where we really belong. So of course, Krishna's abode, then other planetary systems. We call it Vaikuntha planets. Ito yung abode. Ito yung Brahmajuti. Ito yung light. Yung mga nag-meditate sa light, hanggang dito lang sila sa light. So babalik ulit sila sa material world. They could not enter because they don't have that relationship. They don't have the service. Gusto lang nila meditation. Ito yung so-called nirvana or Brahmajuti. So, both daw to gawa ni Krishna. Galing kay Krishna. Heavenly planets, the planetary system, the whole material creation, and even the spiritual world. So, sabi ni Krishna, everything emanates from Him. So, if you want that copy, I'll send you. These are being studied dun sa deeper yoga philosophy natin sa Srimad Bhagavatam. Bakit makikilala nyo rin yung mga tao dun sa sa mga personality, bakit meron dun sa mga part ng yoga asanas. Kung sino-sino yung mga yon. Mga demigods, mga different personality. Ang galing nun. So this is those who perfectly know this, engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. So pag naintindihan mo na yung position ni Krishna, position natin, we want to connect kay Krishna. Not just by routine, but with heart. With all their hearts. So yun yung relationship, yun yung connection, kaya back to yoga. Not just, ginagawa mo lang kasi routine lang siya or, trabaho lang po. No, we chant with not just emotion, but with devotion. So we know Krishna's position, we know our position. 10.9, si Carly, please read the translation after read the Sanskrit. Machita madgata prana, podayanta parasparam, katayantas chamam nityam, Tushanti cha, ramanti cha. Translation.
The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me.
This is one of Krishna's sweetness. Thank you, Carly. So, we always want to be Krishna conscious. Gusto natin palagi maisip si Krishna. And ayaw natin siya makalimutan. We must always remember Krishna and never forget Him. So these are yama ni yama. The things you need to do, remember Krishna. The things you must not do, forget Him. That's the highest yama ni yama in Ashtanga Yoga. Kasi if you forget Krishna, you're in Maya. You're always thinking about other material things. So if you're thinking of Krishna, even though you're doing some other material activities, that's already spiritual. Your work will be spiritual. Your cooking will be spiritual. Your family will be spiritual. Diba? Your business will become spiritual. Kasi, inad mo si Krishna doon. Conscious ka kay Krishna. So we want to always think of Krishna. Pero ito yung sweetness ni Krishna. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Lagi niya rin iniisip yung mga devotees. I don't know if naabutan nyo to. For sure, kasi meron ba sa CCP ng mga play neto and sa school inaral din to. Yung Sita and Rama. Hindi ko familiar ba kayo kay Sita and Ram? So, di ba yung kinidnap si Sita, ni Ravana, tapos sinave sila ni Rama, kapatid niya si Lakshman, tapos may devotee siya si Hanuman, the monkey god. So, si Hanuman, great devotee ni Ram. Willing siya i-risk yung life niya to save Sita para kay Rama. So, si Rama, Ramachandra, or kasama rin sa chant na Hare Krishna, Mahamantra natin, Hare Krishna and Rama, is an incarnation of Krishna. So, si Hanuman, pag binuksan mo nga raw yung heart niya, ano si Sita and Rama, always thinking, very conscious siya. And kapag binuksan mo yung heart ni Rama, ano ni si Hanuman? Ganon ka-sweet si Krishna. The thoughts of his devotees are always in him. So, ito yung reason paano magiging pure devotee or paano natin makukuha yung stage na yun. Ano yung qualities? Yung life devoted sa service kay Krishna. And they feel so satisfied, great satisfaction in serving Krishna. So, hindi siya out of, yun nga, routine lang. But when you smile, if you're working, nasa front desk ka, you're smiling out of work. Minsan kahit di mo gusto yung kausap mo, nakasmile ka pa rin. Nice, sir! Pero in your mind, ang dami mo nang sinabi. Pero iba yung genuine na smile kapag nakita mo yung loved one mo. So same thing, if you're serving Krishna out of love and devotion, you're very satisfied. Yan, bliss from always enlightening one another. So when you're talking about with each other or you're sharing Krishna, you get that bliss, not just ordinary happiness. So these activities, sobrang pleased si Krishna sa ganitong mga tao. And He's always thinking about them. So you don't have to worry na calling out kay Krishna kapag may sitwasyon tayo. If we are always Krishna conscious, si Krishna kasama natin palagi. One way or the other, mararamdaman mo yun. May kausap lang ako kanina, may mga sitwasyon sa buhay, then Krishna is like, that's why C, yung ating acronym. If you're Krishna conscious, makikita natin yung galaw ni Krishna sa paligid. Yung arrangements niya. Minsan may ganun tayo, kaya pala nangyari yun. Ito pala yung next na magandang arrangement. Kaya pala iniwanan ka nung ex mo kasi mas makikilala mo yung better partner mo. Di ba? In hindsight, or parang, buti na lang. Di ba? At the end natin may isip. Buti na lang. Pero if one is Krishna conscious, habang nangyayari yun, naisip mo na, okay, si Krishna may bagong plan na naman. Minsan very tricky. Very playful. Di ba? So we want to see. Diba? So this is Krishna. Lagi niya kasama yung devotees niya. And lagi siyang active. We have Krisha can read the translation after I read the Sanskrit. 10.10. So mark nyo to yung mga nasa Bhagavad Gita nyo. Tesham satatas yukta. Sorry, I'll read. Tesham satata yukta nam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buti yogantam yenamam upayantite. Translation.
To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me.
This is one of my favorite verse sa Bhagavad Gita. I've given many classes na. I've served as a facilitator, like, giving classes. And mostly, ito yung verse na yun. There's this one story. Sa India, sa South India, mas prominent yung mga temples. They have high temples, thousands of years temples. They have priests or brahmana, those who worship the temple. Then, 500 years ago, ito yung Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya na mantras natin. This is the incarnation of Krishna as Lord Chaitanya or Gauranga. Si Lord Chaitanya is the one who brought dito sa material world yung Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So each yuga, si Krishna bumababa dito. He have his reasons. So most merciful na incarnation niya is si Lord Chaitanya. Why? He doesn't came here claiming to be God. He became a devotee of Krishna. Ayun yung incarnation niya, teaching us how to become devotee, how to be humble, how to practice compassion. So ginawa niya yun. So he traveled all over India to share yung chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So sa South India, meron doon Sri Rangam Temple. You can still search that. Andun pa rin yun hanggang ngayon. So may Brahmana doon. And the instruction sa kanya ng guru niya, every day you must read and study Bhagavad Gita. Every day of your life. The problem is, this South Indian Brahmana is illiterate. Hindi siya marunong magbasa, magsulat. Pero may instruction sa kanya yung guru niya to always read and study yung Bhagavad Gita. So what to do? Of course, he's very surrendered sa guru niya. Alam niya may plan yung guru niya para sa kanya. Even impossible mission to. So every day he goes to the temple, study the Bhagavad Gita there. So minsan, hindi niya napapansin kasi hindi niya alam. Nakabaliktad yung Bhagavad Gita. Tapos, hindi niya alam kung paano yung tamang orientation. Tapos araw-araw siyang nagbabasa. Minsan naiiyak siya. People don't know the reason, pero yung ibang mga priests, saka yung mga tao nag-aaral doon, tiyatawanan siya, look at this guy. Diba? He's just pretending, tapos umiiyak pa siya, tapos todo feel pa niya. Parang binabaliwala nila. Then, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Lord Chaitanya have heard about this Brahmana. So yung specific na pumunta siya sa South India, pinuntahan niya yun. And I've heard, sabi ni Lord Chaitanya sa kanya, I've heard, everyday ka raw nag-aral, nagbabasa ng Bhagavad Gita. Sabi nung illiterate Brahmana, South Indian Brahmana. Yes, this is the instructions coming from my guru. Although I'm illiterate and so unfortunate, I'm trying my best. Then sabi ni Lord Chaitanya, even though people are laughing at you, you're still doing it. Pero sabi nila minsan umiiyak ka daw. Then paano ka napupunta sa ganong state if hindi mo nababasa? Sabi ng South Indian Brahmana, just merely, sino yung may Bhagavad Gita na hawak dito? Can you show it sa camera? Yan. So nakikita niyo yung front na cover, di ba? Sabi ng South Indian Brahmana, just merely seeing the picture of Krishna driving the chariot of Arjuna, you will I feel and one will understand the Bhagavad Gita, the sweetness of Krishna. Bakit? Kasi si Krishna yung nag-drive for Arjuna. And wala namang steering wheel dati. Sa chariot eh. And tapos nasa war sila. Maingay doon. Sobrang ingay. Parang hindi sila magkakarinigan. Ano yung ginagawa ni Arjuna? He's stepping at the back of Krishna. Tapos minsan dumudugo ng araw yung likod ni Krishna. Pero si Krishna, happily serving and saving nga si Arjuna pa many times dun sa war. Tapos naiyak na naman yung South Indian Brahmana. See how sweet Krishna is sa mga devotees niya. He's conquered by the love of his devotees. He's not conquered by the meditation, the mysticism, only by the love of his devotees. Tapos umiiyak siya ng todo. Then si Lord Chaitanya niyakap niya yung South Indian Brahmana, yung illiterate Brahmana. Then he mentioned, you are the soul and the person who fully understood the Bhagavad Gita. So, quick lesson here is, hindi natin masusukat yung pag-intindi natin sa Bhagavad Gita because of our academic accomplishments or literacy or magaling tayo magsalita. We are very fluent in certain languages. No? Many have tried. Scholar pa sila. Hindi mga birong scholar lang. Sabi ni Krishna dito, to those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love. Si Krishna nagbibigay ng understanding. Di ba sa kanya galing yung remembrance, sa kanya forgetfulness, even the understanding. So that's the key. You can just read it. Without the key, hindi ka makaka-enter dun sa realm. It doesn't mean na we don't need to study. Ay, pwede palang hindi basahin yung Bhagavad Gita. Ito yung analogy doon. Parang, naging question kayo yung graduation namin, nag-study ako ng nursing. May artista na doon. Tapos may diploma rin siya. Tapos teka lang, hindi naman nakita pumasok yun. So parang may special. Di ba? Hindi ko nakakalimutan yung term eh. Pero may special na binibigay, na-award sa kanila. Of course, baka may sarili silang of marketing yun sa kanila. Of course, kasi may artistang graduate. Or baka may module silang inaral. Diba? They could not attend. So, di tayo pwedeng umasa sa ganito. No, we don't need to read, understand, or do our sadhana, our everyday practice. Baka si Krishna, bigyan din ako ng ganitong chance sa yakapin niya ako. So you want Krishna's mercy and blessings, but also we need to do the work to study. So same. Pero hindi porket wala tayo ng mga background, material background, hindi na tayo tutuloy. Just like this illiterate Brahmana, he can even know the orientation of the book. Pero siya yung nakakaintindi. The rest, tinatawanan lang siya. Those who are perfectly reciting the mantras, alam na nila yung intonation, yung meter. Pero they're proud. So Krishna could give the understanding. So that's how sweet Krishna is. Krishna could only be conquered by love. Not by any scholarly understanding. Galing ng bhakti, di ba? And of course, pwede lang, bakit ganun ulit ba? Pwede naman lahat love si Krishna. First, we decide na hindi. That's why we're working on it para maalala natin yon, magising yung natutulog ng love sa heart natin. Secondly, if Krishna is in connection sa mga devotee niya who's fully in love with him, Krishna is under control of his devotees. Ba't ganon, di ba? He's the supreme controller. Pero the devotees, nakita niyo si Arjuna is commanding Krishna sa battlefield. That's how sweet Krishna is. Papag-usapan natin yung mga pastime na yan, yung nanay ni Krishna, yung mga playmates niya, tapos yung lover niya, si Srimati Radharani. That deep relationship. Sige, mamaya after nato, may isa pa akong ikukwento. Last, sa 4 chapters loki natin, we have Keiko. You could read the translation after you read the verse. Tesham evanukam partam aham ajnana jamtama nasayami at mabavasto gyana dipena bashvata. Translation.
To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with a shining lamp of knowledge in the darkness born of ignorance.
Thank you. Yes, Krishna automatically removes our unwanted baggages. That's why we chant. Diba? We don't have to do the mechanical or artificial cleansing. Krishna will automatically do that instantly. Just like shining lamp. Di ba pag madilim, remember nyo ba yung 90s, yung palagi brand out? Yung iba hindi nabutan to, syempre, yung mga tuyang. Ah, pero yung 90s, di ba, Ramos era, laging brand out. Diba, dilim. Tapos, pag nagsindi ka lang ng one candle, yung buong room, enlightened na siya. Makikita mo na yung, alam mo yun, yung room mo ulit. Tapos pag alam mo yung pag nagka-kuryente, masaya-masaya ng mga tao. Nagpapalakpakan. Parang palagi naman may kuryente. Pero you feel, di ba? So same thing with us. Um, we are always in darkness. Pero ganun lang kabilis para bigay yung light. Yung cleansing na sinasabi, si Krishna easily can remove all the unwanted baggages. The question is, are you ready to remove that unwanted baggages? Or attached din tayo doon? Di ba? So si Krishna hindi binibigla tayo. Kasi painful sa atin yun eh. We have a lot of attachments. Para ka lang nakipag-break tapos, alam mo yun, nagka-text ka rin or nag-reply ka rin pag nag-text sa'yo. Tapos ikaw yung nakipag-break ha. So same thing with us. Of course, to show them special mercy, special deal ni Krishna to. Krishna is in everyone's heart, but automatically can remove all this darkness easily. So you don't have to work hard on it. You can just focus on your relationship, your loving service kay Krishna. Hindi mo na kailangan daanan pa yung maraming proseso. Sagutan ni Krishna yon. So those are the four. If you have this four essence ng Bhagavad Gita, that's why I suggest na basahin natin yung four sloki or texts na to, 10.8 to 10.11. So read this kasama yung purports. Sabi ni Krishna, letter E, everywhere. Krishna's everywhere. So ang dami na ito. You will just, nasa mga text din to. 10.20 to 39. You can see Krishna everywhere. Different representations yan, incarnations yan. So it's Krishna's unlimited. We have limited senses. We cannot just always perceive him. So not possible to comprehend the greatness by our limited senses. So i-send ko sa inyo tong slide na to so you could read. So it's way beyond. Just like yung sample natin na frog in the well. Diba? So that is C. Source of everything, si Krishna. So katulad dun sa letter E, essence of Bhagavad Gita, pati yung spiritual world, material world, si Krishna nag-create nun. Siya yung source. Source of all sources or cause of all causes. So our relationship natin, we are a spirit soul, minute soul. Then siya yung supreme. Then we want to connect. Ano yung attaining process? One should be really conscious with him. Ano yung reciprocation ni Krishna? Krishna is always thinking about that person. Ito yung magandang perception doon. You don't have to be jealous na si Krishna, siya lang iniisip, no? Krishna could expand. Kahit isipin niya tayong lahat, di siya mapagod mag-isip. Di ba may question na gano'n? Parang, di ba mapagod yung Diyos kapag nagdadasal sabay-sabay yung tao? Because we're trying to perceive the Supreme in our own way of thinking, feeling, saka yung pag-receive ng senses. Sense object natin. No. Krishna is the Supreme. He could maintain everything. The fact na meron siya mga, demigods, saka material energy, dinelegate niya yung mga yun. And ang hirap na mga ginagawa nila. To imagine, to organize this mga good and bad karma natin perfectly. Ito lang, sobrang simple to. But of course, He's always dwelling sa mind niya yung mga devotees na yun. So first is loving service. Ginagawa nila yung service out of love. And they're blissful, happy doing that. And also conversing with each other and sharing that to others. In that way, Krishna is always thinking of that person. And even though one is illiterate, again, the language of love is much more important than just academics. Krishna could give the understanding, that key. And because of Krishna's special mercy, automatic yung darkness sa heart natin. Isang light lang ni Krishna yun. It will be gone. Diba? So, ganun kabilis. Diba? Pag pinatay mo yung light, that fast, si Krishna could give the light. Could give to remove all the darkness in our heart. So you don't have to go to a different long process. And Krishna is everywhere. For us to perceive him, we must have the spiritual eye. How? Through hearing. Just like now, I don't know if na-feel nyo rin, pero we're getting to know Krishna much more. Habang narinig na. Natawa kasi ako may nag-chat. We're learning about Krishna much more through hearing. Of course, galing sa kanya yun. So before we go sa ating question and answer, we will not chant, pero hopefully nakapag-chant kayo today. If not, you need to chant tonight. Before we go sa ating question and answer, picture muna tayo, everyone. Sabi before natin sagutin yung tanong ni Milka. If natutulog ba yung Diyos? Yan, nice to see everyone. Yan, nakita ko si Dan. Hanap ko si Dan. Nasa si Dan? Yan. Iba yung setup mo ngayon. Yes. Okay, count of 3. Yan, lumabas si Makoy. Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Count of 3, everyone. 1, 2, 3. One more. Count of 3. 1, 2. Hare Krishna. So please, if you're posting something, please tag me then. And it will encourage a lot of people as well. And of course, if you need to do your duties tonight, please do so. Carry on. But thank you muna. Hare Krishna, Krisha, Bea, Blar, Shara, Dan, Jake, Carly, Keiko. Ang ganda ng name ni Keiko, no? Krishna Consciousness, Keiko. Mara, Marie, Maui, Sinet, PY, Sharav, we have Makoy, Milka, Hare Krishna. So, puntahan natin yung next si Krisha dun sa question. First one na si diba, Keiko? Parang ISKCON, International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Natutulog pa yung Diyos? Yes. But of course, not just like our sleep na in the mode of ignorance na hindi natin alam yung nangyayari. Diba? If you have an altar, in deep relationship ka kay Krishna, you wake him up and you put him to sleep also. But natutulog ba talaga siya? It's just like sunset and sunrise. Yung sun, di ba? Andiyan lang mo yung sun, di naman siya nawawala eh. Napunta sa ibang place. So Krishna is like that as well. So si Krishna, hindi rin like 5,000 years tong Bhagavad Gita. Sa ibang universe nangyayari siya ngayon. Naka-time sa universe na yun. Nangyayari yun ngayon. Nire-recite nila. So kaya siya eternal. Si Krishna kasi he transfers to different universes every one day ni Brahma. So a great computation yon. May math sa Srimad Bhagavatam sa yoga philosophy. I don't know if you like math. Pero yung computation ng time ni Brahma. Perfect example, yung buhay ng isang bacteria will be some few seconds, few minutes, diba? Pero sa buhay nila na yon, nagkaroon from childhood, nagdalaga na sila, nagka-boyfriend na sila, nagka-asawa, nagka-anak, nagka-war na doon. In that short period, tas sa atin seconds lang yon. So sige, lakihan natin yung period. Yung aso mo, diba 1 year adult na siya. Tapos, di ba, after a year, pwede na siya mabuntis. Parang 2 years ka pala, may anak ka na, di ba? Tapos, another year, buntis na naman siya. Tapos, 10, 13 years, if you're lucky, 15. Di ba? Tapos na yung life nila. Pero nakita mo, dinaanan na yun. There are some, like yung mga turtles, 200 years sila. Di ba? Yung trees, 300, 400. So, pinapalood lang nila tayo lumilipas parang bacteria. So, yung the higher beings, the demigods, ganun din. In 6 months natin, 12 hours lang nila. Kay Lord Brahma lalo. So, kay Krishna, of course, snap lang yun. So, same thing yung pagtingin natin sa mga different creation. So, si Lord Vishnu, si Mahavishnu in the process of creation, pinakita ko kanina. May different Vishnu, pero the other one, Mahavishnu or Karanodakasha Vishnu. Kapag nag-exhale siya, andun yung mga universes. Pag inhale niya, annihilation na yon. So, yung mga universes na yon, different timeline yon. So, everyday ni Lord Brahma, si Krishna, iba-iba. So, 5,000 years ago, sa atin, sa time natin, dito si Krishna. So, sa ibang universe siya ngayon. Nangyayari yung Bhagavad Gita. So, it seems medyo tulog lang siya, pero we call it Yoga Nidra or transcendental slumber. Parang si Mahavishnu. So, pero, of course, our relationship with Krishna, yeah, you can put him to sleep. You can wake him up. But He knows everything. Kasi naging question to, natutulog ba yung Diyos? People are suffering. Ba't hinayaan ng Diyos nangyari to? Ba't hinayaan niya may calamity? Diba? Ba't hinayaan niya ganito, yung experience natin? We all deserve this, one way or the other, ginawa natin yun. Or collectively, collective karma. Nangyari yun. Yung material nature inarrange. At ang perfect timing, mangyayari to. So, that's collective karma. So, hindi natutulog Diyos. Alam niya lahat ng nangyayari. Even yung mga desire mo sa heart mo na hindi mo sinasabi kahit di alam ng best friend mo, alam ni Krishna. Wala ka matatago sa Kanya. So, hopefully, sagot ko yung question mo, Milka. Huwag mo nakantayin. Mahaba yan ay yung mga daw, di ba? Kapag video okay, yan yung mga hindi katalo kasi ilang minutes yan. Si Krisha na. Go, Krisha, before you read some.
Sa movie po, Prabhu, I heard that Prabhupada was saying something like, God is the end goal, so it doesn't matter what your religion is. So I was thinking, on the context of me, because I really am like raised Catholic. Like before this, I was a devout Catholic on the way to really being super Catholic. So is it fair to still pray the Catholic prayers and think of Krishna, or is that wrong?
Very nice question. I'm also was raised sa Catholic culture tradition. Yeah, same kami ni Bea nung school. So, super Catholic din doon. I was also sacristan. Nakikita niyo ako sa every Friday, first Friday Mass. So, naging question to previously then. And one might pray. Meron yung nagkwento eh. He was praying to Jesus Christ, to the Father. I want to know you more. Diba? I have a vague knowledge about you. Diba? Ang alam lang natin, matanda. Kasi siya yung first, siya yung creator. Siya yung pinakamatanda. Puti yung buhok, puti yung balbas. Nakaupo sa trono. And we want to know Him more. Ano yung relationship? Kaya paano pag pumunta ako sa ito yung mga questions ko dati? Paano pag pumunta ako sa heaven? Anong gagawin ko dun? Diba? Mas may action pa dun sa hell kasi judge ka tapos mag-suffer ka. Dun sa heaven, ano na? So parang, I don't know, I just have this creative imagination and thinking. So, one way or the other, it was an arrangement for us to know Krishna more. Your question is if would it be fair? Yeah, sure. Walang problema yon. If you're praying, you're connecting. Diba? But of course, the process of bhakti is going deeper. Diba yung 5 relationships natin? We have the own reverence, part na yun, or being a servant. In the practice of Catholicism, andun ka lang sa own reverence. The Father, ang layo-layo niya, wala kang connection. Diba? But if we want to go beyond, to have that relationship, so we need much more knowledge. We need much more answers sa questions natin. Sometimes we might be attached dun sa tradition, but we don't really understand ano yung mga ginagawa natin. But it's not really bad. You can still, if you want, you still go to church. Or if you don't want to take the bhakti, like yung whole package, you get what you can, di ba sabi nga ni Prabhupada, um, sabi dun sa prayer, Our Father, hallowed be thy name. You chant the name. Yung tanong ko, anong name? When I was young, anong name? God is just like a general name, like the Om. Anong name niya? So, ano yung chant mo palagi? So, if you don't have a name to chant, then chant Krishna. If you have a name, then chant it. So, kaya sinabing yung Krishna consciousness is not sectarian. Whatever you're practicing, if you get this knowledge, you'll be a better Christian, you'll be a better Muslim, you'll be a better whatever na practice mo. If you want to get much more, then practice. So, walang lugi. Walang lugi. There's no loss in diminution. If you want to learn much more about the service, you learn much more. If you want to have that much more close relationship, go. So, hopefully nasagot ko yung question mo, Krisha. But may story behind, ito yung sabi ko kanina. Just like when one wants to meet the president, hindi ko alam kung sino yung favorite president nyo. If one wants to meet the president, you cannot just go there and kato ka sa office niya. Tapos, sir, meron lang ako i-inquire. Di ba hindi ganun kadali? You have to have an appointment. Kailangan kausapin mo yung secretary niya. Or just to enter the White House o Malacanang tapos or any house ng president, you have to, ang dami mong dadaan process. Sometimes you must be someone. No ordinary person could just easily go there. Diba? May mga security, mga checks and all. Kailangan may appointment ka na nga. So, a person who is impersonalist or just like seeing the White House or sa Malacanang, ang layo-layo niya, ayan. Nakita niya yung house, maliwanag. Pero hindi niya nakikita yung president. So, those who are in the own reverence na relationship, they could meet the president pero you are, yung formal, with the right etiquette. Very tame, very tame yung emotion mo, prim and proper, official, di ba? So, yung nagpa-book ng appointment sa president, tatagal lang siya, sabi ng secretary, 30 minutes lang. Meron siyang ginagawa lang. The next, ikaw na. Pero ikaw, parang, hindi, urgent to eh. Just like our prayer, lahat ng prayer natin palaging urgent, di ba? Kahit pag na-release mo, ano pa yung didiser ko dati. So, that person is restless. Gusto niyang makita ni president. Ba't di niya ako binibigyan? Dapat kala ko ba servant siya ng lipunan. So, what he did, he picked dun sa keyhole ng room ng president. So, old school yun, keyhole. Tapos makikita mo yun sa kabila. Diba? So, he picked the keyhole. Dun sa keyhole. Tapos nakita niya yung president nakaluhod. Tapos yung kamay niya sa sahig din. Tapos may weird siyang ginagawa para nag-act siya as animal. Tapos pagtingin niya, may nakasakay sa likod niya. Yung apo ng president, ginagawa siya kabayo. Tapos nagugulat siya. Ito pa yung presidente namin. Diba, nag-act siya ng kabayo dun sa batang to. Tapos di niya matanggap. These are different relationships. But not everyone is ready. Of course, yung president, tao rin siya, may relation, may asawa din siya, may anak din siya. Di ba yung lolo, kahit formal, di ba? Pag andun na yung apo, di ba, parang sarado na natin ang appointment, makipaglaro na yan. Minsan mag-baby talk pa yun sa baby. So, same thing. If you want to really know Krishna, beyond yung Malacanang or yung lahit lang, we want to enter. And pwede ka ng firm and proper ka as on reverence relationship mo. Or you want that very close relationship sa Kanya. Si Krishna, ang mas gusto niya, very close relationship. Beyond the own reverence lang. You're friends with Him, you're His parent minsan, or siya yung anak kanya, or even lover. So, paano ka ba paano ka ba magdasal sa Kanya if you're praying, di ba? Hare Krishna, dear God. First of all, the reason for my letter, the reason for my, di ba? Attached here are some files. Ganun ko formal sa Kanya. Hindi, di ba? You're opening your heart, you're revealing your mind. Di ba? In that relationship. Di ba? Sincerely yours. Di ba? Ganun ba yun? Di ba hindi? Krishna, pasa mo naman ako dito sa ano. Or palagpasin mo lang ako sa trouble na to, magpapakabait na ako. Matakasan ko lang tong sitwasyon na to. Diba? Di na ko uulit. Diba? May mga ganun, may ganung bargaining, diba? Hindi mo naman sabihin sa president yun eh. So we want that. And si Krishna, mas gusto niya yun. Papag-usapan natin yung mga pastime ni Krishna. And also, if you want, you could read the Krishna book. Diba? For you to experience yung sweetness ni Krishna. A lot of pastimes na ginawa ni Krishna sa kasama yung mga devotees niya. And we are all worthy nung relationship na yun. Krishna even wants that. Sabi nga, one step we take closer kay Krishna, si Krishna will take hundreds of steps closer to us. Kasi He misses us. Nag-aantay lang talaga siya. Ikaw lang eh. Tayo lang eh. Tayo lang yung matagal eh. Tayo lang yung libang na libang sa kung anong bagay. Tapos, kapag nakuha na natin, ay, wala palang ang bland pala, wala palang lasa yung kinukuha kong goal. Same lang pala yon. Same lang pala yung feeling ng 1 million saka 10 million. Pero yung isipin mo yung time and effort na ginawa mo doon. Hopefully, nasagot ko yung question mo, Krisha. Yan. Team Keiko.
Prabhu,
Yes,
Blar
yeah.
has a question also.
Sure.
Baka na flood. Dami namin sinabi.
Sleeping Vishnu, creating universes. Yes. We discussed this, sabi ni Milka, this Mahavishnu. We discussed this sa Srimad Bhagavatam. Dito pa ba yung Ayan, ito siya. Ayun, laki. Pero, ito, another sleeping Vishnu. Ito yon, si Mahavishnu. Then another Vishnu here. Each universe, si Vishnu. Tapos, nag-expand pa siya. Every soul, kasama niya si Lord Vishnu as Jirodakasha Vishnu or Super Soul. So, it seems like sleeping lang. Pero is witnessing. Hindi siya maraming activities. Ang maraming activities si Krishna mismo, the two-handed form Krishna. May reincarnation si Krishna in different country. Not country. Usually, hindi naman per country para sasabi nila, bakit si Krishna sa India pinili? Previously, it is Mahabharat. Yung buong earth is just one emperor, diba? Ganun. Discuss natin sa scriptures, sa Mahabharat, first few chapters natin. In the scriptures, sa Srimad Bhagavatam study, different kings inaaral doon, different emperors, and paano na-divide siya sa continents. May isang king, dinivide niya sa mga anak niya per continent. Plus, of course, yung mga tao, attached na sa body. Attached nila sa place of birth nila. Na-divide na sa countries. Just like when India got the freedom from British colony. So, nawala na yung Pakistan. Dati sa India yon, yung East Bengal. West Bengal. Tama, East Bengal. Bangladesh. Yung mga part, di ba, nadi-divide. Yung Mindanao, gusto kong may sa Philippines. But previously, buong mundo is just under one rule. But the kings back then were spiritual kings or Raja Rishis. So, si Krishna, hindi per country nag-incarnate. But He incarnates Himself. Pero ito yung maganda doon. Diba, sobrang authority yung scriptures. Before Krishna came here in His incarnation, nasa scripture na. You could double check. Alam na ng mga saintly person. Okay siya yun kasi nandito, sinulat na. Si Krishna yun, alam niya eh. Hindi pwedeng darating siya tapos wala sa scriptures. So, hindi siya authentic, hindi siya legitimate or bona fide. And also, He sends His pure devotees, just like Srila Prabhupada, to different places to save others. He sends His Son to save other souls. or yung mga pure devotees niya. Sri Prabhupada is very a special soul. Madaming pseudo guru yogi in the West. And Sri Prabhupada traveled actually 70 years old na siya to 82 years old, 88 years old, 82 years old. Nag-travel siya sa buong mundo 14 times in just 12 years. Tapos habang nagka-translate ng mga books, hundreds of books. Great author din siya. Tapos having thousands of disciples. He barely sleeps, di ba? So, he's a great soul. Mga Mahatmas sila. So, ano yun, sinesend ni Krishna yung mga ganong souls to wake yung mga sleeping souls. So, he incarnates not just a different country, different universes in different times. So, yung next incarnation na sa scriptures na rin, that will be Lord Kalki at the end of Kali Yuga. Yun. Ang ganda ng ano, habang natutunan natin yung scriptures, nakita natin yung authority niya and connection. Saglit lang may so may tanong, any tips how to prevent falling down dun sa practice or kapag the darkness is creeping in and we want to fight? First is we must always check how's our chanting because that's our connection to Krishna. Just like, di ba, example natin anxiety, depression is just like that also. Even when you're trying to chant, tapos maligaw ka ng association, you have the bad association, different people, even like, just like drugs, di ba? Sober ka for some time, then you met yung mga previous na kasama mo doon, then kakainin ka ulit ng sistema. Darkness is also like that, depression, di ba? You put all the triggers sa paligid mo, yung mga songs, lahat ng memories, di ba? Automatic. But we have to be stronger than the mind because the mind, sila yung nakakain ng ganitong darkness. So, we have to be controller of the mind. Hindi we are controlled by the mind. So, first of all, we have to be aware how's our chanting. Not just the numbers, but the quality of chanting. Is it with love, with attention? Tapos tingnan natin yung paligid natin, sino yung association natin. Even the physical, even internet. How's our connection? Our study. Diba? So those are sadhanas. Kaya everyday siya. If we have a good sadhana, the reading, the association, and the chanting in the morning, iba mo harapin yung problema mo the rest of the day. Iba mo harapin. Or sabihin mo na hindi ka morning, pero if consistent ka doon, iba mo harapin. Ibang consciousness. Sabi nga ni Einstein, I'm just gonna paraphrase kasi hindi ko matanda yung exact word niya. Pero doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different result is the definition of foolishness or madness. Parang ganun. Pag paulit-ulit ka tapos nag-expect ka ng different result, parang what's the point? It's madness. So we have to change the consciousness. That's the solution to most of, if not all of the problem. Kapag okay yung consciousness mo. And the highest, of course, we must be Krishna conscious. So for us to, kung nabasa mo si alam mo yung testimony or review ni Chantal Umali, yung sinend ko last time, when he practiced bhakti. So yeah, he explained something about this also. Na, hindi ko sinasabi yung pangalan ng message kasi naka-DM sa private pala. Ayan, sabi ni Mara, I sent you a message about my dog. That was one of my reflections. Anong these stories, Mara? Anong story yun? Sorry, baka naligpasan ko na. Ano ba si Mara? Yan, Mara. Anong story yun? So, dami ko. Yeah.
Hello, Hare Krishna.
Hare
Yeah,
Krishna.
no, that was when I asked you about time. Yung when I was telling you how overwhelmed I get and how anxious I sometimes get when I start thinking about what eternity is like. And it made me realize na parang even our definition of time is so man-made. And then katabi ko yung dog ko noon, and I was like, wait, but and even how my dog sees and defines and experiences time is so different. So what why am I so afraid if, again, as you brought it up earlier, with our limited senses, we don't know what time really is, what eternity really feels like. We're just gauging it on like what we know, what we're exposed to here on this
Mm-hmm.
material world. So, yun, well, all that from like katabi ko lang yung aso ko. Like one weekend. Yeah.
'Di ba?
So yeah.
And thank you. And that's why this Krishna consciousness is nag-expand yung consciousness natin. We might not really, I don't know with you, but yung iba parang hindi napapansin unti-unti. Like, alam mo, parang attend ako na attend, pero nag-expand siya eh. Di ba? Talagang yung understanding natin, kakaiba. And yeah, hindi siya magigets sa maraming tao. You'll be weird. Try to tell this story sa ibang tao. The question also, sa nakibabasa yung mga ganitong stories, most of the stories I'm telling is based on the scriptures. Srimad Bhagavatam, that's a long volume of Srimad Bhagavatam, or um, yoga philosophy books. So if you have the Bhagavad Gita, times 20 mo yan. Ganun kadami. So ito yun. So ayun yung inaaral namin every morning, Srimad Bhagavatam. So if you're reading 41 texts or 241 pages a day, you'll finish that in 1 year. So you can just attend also to understand. The rest of the students have their Srimad Bhagavatam set of books also. Kasi ang ganda niya eh. It talks about everything under the sun. Even yung pamahiin, even the bad omens last time, yung planets, yung mga history ng women, history ng men. Ang dami topic under the sun. You will understand, okay, dito pala galing to. And ito siya, after na Mahabharat, yung Srimad Bhagavatam yung story. And andun yung life ni Lord Brahma, life ni Lord Shiva, and other demigods. You get to know this. Then yung mga stories nila and their connection kay Krishna. So yes, that's time. We'll talk much more about time as we move forward. Yes, Dan Prabhu.
Hi, Hare Krishna. I actually have a question related to yung kay Mara about like time eternal. So, di ba, in the Bhagavad Gita, it's like 40% of the material world is manifested. So, and then the rest is in the spiritual realm. Will it come to a time where everything in the like everything that can manifest would manifest, and then parang it's gonna go into oblivion, and then everything's gonna be spiritual, like a spiritual world,
Ang ganda ng
right?
question mo. Thank you, Dan. And yeah, one fourth ng creation is material world. 3/4 is spiritual world. So, this is Mahavishnu breathing. Tapos lalabas sa pores niya, mga universes. Tapos, gano'ng kadami yon if you have paper bag, tapos, alam mo yung mustard seed? Sobrang liit lang nun. One paper bag of mustard seeds. Gano'ng kadami yung universes. So, you could save the one universe. Tapos, it won't matter much. Pero the material world is because of desires ng mga souls. Just like, ang sarap ng buhay kapag walang prison house, di ba? Pero kailangan
Follow-up
bigyan.
question.
Oh yeah, sige.
Follow-up question. So does that mean na the material world will always manifest?
Well, it depends with Krishna, but that's the fact. Ayun yung nangyayari. Parang may magandang, although may mga bansa na nagka-close na yung prison house nila kasi wala masamang tao. Pero of course, ganun nangyayari. We are actually in the prison house. For us not to suffer, 'di ba? Concentration camp, 'di ba, yung mga katulad kay Hitler, they would just die, tortured. Prison house is to learn the lessons. Because we have something na, alam mo yun, we have desires that are very material. Then, sobrang sweet ni Krishna, okay, desire mo to, bibigay ko sa'yo. Pero, with guidance. He sent the scriptures, sinamahan niya rin tayo as the super soul, diba? We might spend a lot of time here, pero sa ratio ng eternity, one snap lang yon. Kahit billions of lifetime ka ba dito. Pero sa eternity, parang kang nanaginip lang sa spiritual world pagbalik mo. Uy, ba't ka ba inisip yun? Ba't ba ako nag-desire na yun? Pero ang dami natin pinuntahan na dito. But it was just like a dream. So, the answer is, andun yung material world because souls have desire to go there. They want to be God in different stages. They want to enjoy outside kay Krishna. They want, paano kaya kung ako yung pinag-servan ng mga servants? Ito, papa-experience sa'yo. So that's the prison house. That's the material world. It's not a place for people just to suffer or to enjoy. It's a place for people or for souls to learn the lessons. So, ito yung Krishna consciousness. The yoga is to connect that again. Krishna consciousness is the process. How to have that connection. Parang magising ka dun sa, ito yung totoong awaken. Para magising ka dun sa reality mo talaga. So, in the context ng eternity, so, dito lang merong time, which is si Krishna rin yun sa chapter 11, pag-usapan natin yung very trippy to. Ay, bukas na pala, chapter 11. Very trippy na na topic. Hindi ko expound lahat, pero just like time, yung beginning sa end, ma-experience na natin sa material world. Ginawa, tas nasira. Matapos, di ba? Dito lang yun. Parang, sige, in another perspective, yung start ng movie sa end ng movie. Di ba? In 1.5 hour, na-experience mo yun. Pero the whole 24 hours, di ba? Tapos ilang days, dire-diretso yung buhay mo. They live happily ever after. Ano nangyari pagtapos? Nag-divorce sila. Diba? Hindi talaga happily ever after. Nag-divorce. Tapos may sequel pala. But anyway, ganun lang talaga yon. Sobrang minute lang yung billions of years dito in comparison sa time. Ang dami pang story about time. Siguro bukas paalala nyo, may story si Lord Brahma. Saka si Balaram, si Revati. Naghaharap ng asawa. Basta bukas paalala nyo yung story na yon. Hopefully, nasagot ko yung question mo, Dan. Yan. That's time. Actually, ang dami pang story nun. And part siya ng creation. Krishna is time. Sabi, ang pangalan niya Kala. So, chapter 11. Basahin niyo yun. Yes, Mara.
Sorry, last. Is it possible that Krishna is reincarnated simultaneously in several lifetimes, in several other universes and galaxies and whatnot? Also, does it apply in a way to us as well? Like, is there another parang, I know it sounds kind of weird, but like, can our soul be split in a way, or like, is there another version of us in like some kind of 4D world? Or well, as in, this entire class has made me revisit, because I love sci-fi. This has made me revisit like Interstellar, yung mga gano'n, like these movies, yeah, diba, that play around with time and simultaneous universes. So yeah, I just wanted to ask about that, how it relates to Krishna consciousness in a way. So yun, sorry, I'm geeking out because like this really makes me so happy. Like this excites me.
A good question. I love these topics. I spent a lot of time studying about these planets, universes, dimensions, and ang dami kong questions noon before, and kaya tuntua ako Srimad Bhagavatam, it is being answered. First of all, the soul will not be divided. Diba? The soul will not be slain when the body is slain. And also, may continuation na verses doon sa chapter 2. The soul could not be moistened by water, burned by fire. Sino nadaanan to? Could not be cut into pieces. Sa chapter yun, ni-explain ni Krishna kay Arjuna, kahit gaano kalakas yung weapons mo, hindi mo masisira yung soul. Isa lang yung soul. So, these are, kaya sa mga fiction, they want a different life. paano kaya sa different universe? Ito ako. Ako yung mean girl. Hindi ako yung So, may ganong factor. Hindi mangyayari yon. Yung identity mo isa lang, di ba? Hindi siya mag-emerge, hindi siya mawawala. Ikaw talaga yon, your experience. And bakit natin parang, ito yung point na yun eh, parang, bakit mo pipili maging ibang tao? Ikaw yon, that's you. That's your experience, that's your story, that's your life. Diba? Now, maybe, tayo sa part ng story natin na ang daming challenges or this lifetime, pero ang daming makukulay na mangyayari. So, si Mara ay si Mara. But there's much more to yung mga revelation na mag-unfold pa. So, si Krishna also is everywhere. Actually, yung question mo, nag-incarnate ba siya? Yes, ginagawa niya ngayon. He's in everyone's heart. Nag-expand siya. The human, the yogi, pag na-perfect na lang yung mysticism ng yogi, he could just expand 9 times. Ganda sana nun, no? Di ba? Yung isa nagluluto, yung isa kasama yung family, isa nagkatrabaho, di ba? Yung isa naglalaba, so isa nanonood lang. Yeah, that's a story ng Srimad Bhagavatam. We just discussed this. Si Kapila Muni, yung atin sa morning. Kapila Muni ginawa niya, na-expand siya ng 9 times. Di ba? At ito yung maximum na kaya gawin ng isang yogi. Si Krishna could expand unlimitedly. Meron siyang 16,108 wives. Si Krishna, madaming asawa. May main 108 wives siya. May 16,108 wives. Pero this is not just wives. He expanded himself to many Krishna. And about princess na yon, may different kingdom. And pag sinarada muna yung isang saintly person, pumunta siya sa isang bahay, andun si Krishna, may ibang ginagawa. Pumunta siya sa isang bahay, andun si Krishna, may ibang ginagawa. Because he can expand unlimitedly. So, hindi natin pwede ikulong si Krishna in limitation. Tayo lang yung limited. And also, yeah, true enough, he's in everyone's heart. So, lahat ng soul kasama si Krishna. So, nag-expand na siya simultaneously. So, yung talagang totoong unlimited. So, that's Krishna. We will learn much more about Krishna's greatness and sweetness. Bakit niya kayang gawin niya? Ba't niya ginagawa rin niya? Sana sagot ko yung question mo, Mara. Favorite ko yun, yung mga Vedic cosmology. Promise, the stars, yung connection niya, yung mga demigods doon. Di ba meron tayong ocean of salt dito, salt water. Sa iba may ocean of milk, may ocean of, di ba? Meron din ocean of liquor. May ocean of fire nga sa hell, di ba? Sa ibang planets, andun din yung may ibang intoxication din sila doon. Sa Somarasa. Sino nakatira doon? May Nagaloka, yung mga planets of the snake. So, ang dami nun. Pati yung mga activities ng mga demigods. Tapos, napunta rin sila dito sa earthly planet para magbakasyon. Mostly yung nasa yun. Dito Southeast Asia. This is where they go. But this time, ayaw nila. Diba? Marami siguro pollution. Pero sa scriptures, hindi mo masasabi pagkasama mo na sila. Yes, Bea. Please.
Hi. May curious lang din ako kasi ang tagal ko na din siyang iniisip. It's about the soul. Kasi diba, pag na-attain na yung purified na yung soul, pumupunta na. So, my question is, since katagalan, unti-unting nababawasan yung human souls, nagkakaroon ba ng bagong created na souls? Like, are there newer souls? Or are there just souls from, kunwari, mga plants or other life forms na parang sila naman yung nabigyan ng chance maging tao since may mga nag-ascend na? Parang ganun. Yun lang.
Ganda ng question mo. Yes, naging question ko rin yan kasi I'm trying to comprehend. Paano mangyayari? Di ba maubos yung souls dito? Pag lahat naging Krishna conscious, di ba? Parang, totoo yan. But, di ba, the souls are eternal, ever-existing, primeval. Di ba? They're not born. Najayate mirate vakadachi na yang butva bhavita banavuya. Jonitya sasbatoyam purano nahanya tayahanyamin sarire. For the soul there's neither birth nor death at any time. He has not come to being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. So, walang bago. He's unborn, eternal, primeval, and ever-existing. He's not slain when the body is slain. So, walang bagong soul. ever-existing yung soul. Nasa ibang places lang. Actually, sa body natin, ang dami yung soul dyan. Yung mga living entities nandyan, di ba? Pag may parasite ka sa body. Living sila, di ba? So, this is a small universe for them. For them, big universe na yon. Your body is also a big universe. And daming living entity na yun. Even sa room mo, you cannot just say walang yung ano dyan. Yung mga microscopic souls, microscopic living entities, they are souls. Di ba? Of course, yung mga plants, yung mga moving living entities, mga may non-moving living entities. Kasama yung mga trees, the mountains, they're living entities, but non-moving. Isipin mo yung karma para maging mountain ka for thousands of years. So, ang tagal nun. So, yes, makakabalik yung ibang souls sa spiritual world. That's the goal. Also us. We want to go back home, back to Godhead. So, yeah, it's a celebration. The rest of the soul also maging para makabalik. That's why it's important to share Krishna to others so they would be also awakened in many ways. The prasadam, the spiritualized food, and also the one bottle of Yakult. So, many souls yun, lactobacilli. Yan. Yes, yes, yeah. So, I drank 2 universes pala. Even if you breathe, there's a big universe there. So, in microscopic point of view, ang daming souls sa paligid natin. So, ang goal natin, of course, is to be merciful to them. Let them be Krishna conscious in many ways. Diba? But of course, we must not be too much attached. There's a story, if you have read the Coming Back na book, I believe yun. Coming back kasi ang story nun, coming back sa material world or coming back sa spiritual world. When he's about to die, na-renounce si Bharat, he's about to die, na-renounce na niya yung pagiging emperor, then he'll live in the forest. Pero na-attach siya sa deer. Hanggang bago siya mamatay, naisip niya yung deer. Pinanganak siya sa pagiging deer. So, same. You can be caring, pero hindi ka pwedeng too much attached kasi pwedeng nandun ka. Doon yung consciousness mo. Imbis na maisip pa si Krishna before he die, naisip niya yung deer. Ano mangyayari sa deer? Sino mag-aalaga sa kanya? So, naging deer siya. So, we must share Krishna, but also, we must also be detached. Hare Krishna, Makoy Prabhu, yes. So, ayun yung many souls around us. There will be no new souls. Lahat andun na sila. Pero unlimited din yung mga souls. Sobrang dami. Yung tao nga lang sa Manila, di ba? Ang dami-dami. Magulat ka, dami-daming tao. So, pag December, sobrang dami sa taong sa Divisoria. Pag nandun ako, parang, ganito pala dami yung tao dito sa mundo. Divisoria pa lang yung magugulat ka. Or pag may concert, di ba? Hopefully, nasagot ko yung question mo, Bea. Di ba? Sakit lang, basahin ko yung kay Milka, tapos next si Dan. If Lord Chaitanya's combination of Krishna and Radha, does that mean our souls can be combined with other forms of energy as well? Or Krishna is the only one who can do that? Yeah, si Krishna lang makagawa nun. Lord Chaitanya is the combination of Radha and Krishna. There's a really sweet story bakit ganun yung nangyari. So, si Srimati Radharani and si Krishna, out of love, Krishna wants to feel the love of Radharani in longing. So, we will discuss this further at the end goal. So much to explore in the rabbit hole of my goodness. Yes, oh my goodness. Ang dami. Mind expanding talaga siya. And I'm very sorry, my dear ones. You cannot unsee. Hindi nyo na mababalik yung dating consciousness nyo. You might forget a little bit. Diba? Pero you won't enjoy as much sa consciousness. Lagi maisip si Krishna, even you forget. Ang dami kong friend na gano'n, parang, alam mo yun, parang they just want Napapagod sila, papakain na lang ako sa material energy, tapos intoxicated sila, tapos mag-chat sila sa akin, mag-drunk text. Diba, ba't ganun? Naisip ko pa rin si Krishna. So, si Krishna ba may arrangement na yun? So, yeah. I'm very sorry, cannot unsee, but yeah, very sweet. Very sweet. Yes, Dan, Prabhu.
Yeah. So my question is, since food is a big part of like how our mental health is, how we think, our consciousness. So how important is um like having a vegetarian diet or food in itself to like developing a deeper sense of Krishna consciousness?
Hmm. So, ang ganda nun. Ang ganda ng question nun. Kasi, it is just like joyfully performed. We are not a part of we are not part of the spiritual practice na we suppress our taste buds. Kasi we offer good food kay Krishna. And we honor that food. It is called prasadam. So may tatanong, paano yun? Kahit plant-based diet ka, buhay yung ano, di ba? May soul yung plants, di ba? So yes, may karma ka pa rin kapag kinain mo yung plants. Although the body is made to eat plants, herbivore yung organs natin. Pero if you offer them to Krishna, ano yun, hindi ka nakasama nung karmic activities. Akarma na siya. So wala kang bad karma or good karma from the plants. At the same time, since you offer them to Krishna, just like sabi yung kay Beyang, many souls around us, pero kinonect mo sila kay Krishna, it's a good benefit for them. So yung mga process nila na dadaanan to evolve in different lives, you will fast track them hanggang maging humans kagad sila. So if you're like not in that plant-based diet, you're stopping them to evolve. Diba? Sabi mo na the pig will have to be born again as a pig kasi they were killed. Diba? Hindi pa tapos yung time nila tapos ulit-ulit sila. Diba? So, that's the thing. And the consciousness, of course, even plant-based diet, me traveling, it is advised that I should always eat yung mga spiritualized food or prasadam. But time, place, circumstances, sometimes I need to maintain the body and energy, kailangan kumain sa restaurants and all, mga vegetarian restaurants. Mararamdaman mo ako nararamdaman ko, may ibang, kahit kinainan ka na healthy, organic, pero iba yung consciousness mo afterwards. Ang cloudy. So, it affects our consciousness. Even plant-based siya. Depende dun sa nagluto, sa nag-serve. Diba? So, kahit plant siya, mararamdaman pa rin siya. Meron pa rin effect sa consciousness. Pero pag prasadam siya, it will improve your consciousness, spiritual consciousness palagi. For you to experiment on this, try to eat prasadam palagi. Tapos try to stop for one day. Tapos parang intoxicated. Parang, ayun nga, beyond yung sobriety, may another thing beyond pa doon. Yung clarity, yung consciousness, iba rin. So yes, we will learn much more. May kausap lang ako kanina si Carly regarding food. Diba? A while ago, yan, my brother was editing dito sa kabilang side yung mga videos, cooking videos. So we could learn much more about cooking. Using of spices is an art. Diba? Ako, napilitan ako mag-aral magluto kasi when I started plant-based. So, hindi pa uso yung mga restaurant na wala pang Lala Move. Hindi ka pa pwede umorder spices. Ilan lang yung mga nasa practice ng plant-based diet. Ang meron pa lang nun, body sa SM. Alam mo yung naabutan ko how much yung package ng body dati? 45 pesos o 40 pesos. Ganun na katagal yun. Ganun katagal yun. Almost 20 years. Sobrang dami. Sobrang dami na ngayon. Dati sobrang bilang mo lang. Tapos kilala mo rin yung mga other vegetarian na sobrang weird mo. Kasi hindi alam ng mga tao, may vegetarian pala sa Pilipinas. Now, kahit artista, di ba? Vegetarian, nasa trend na. So, very easy, very accessible ngayon. So, yes, we must learn also how to offer the food that we prepare para maging prasadam. It will help with the consciousness. So that's very much important sa part ng practice ng spiritual life. So hindi natin magagawa 100%, at least even offer some fruits. Alam mo, hindi, kasi you cannot offer food kay Krishna na iba yung nagluto eh. You can thank, of course. You can appreciate, di ba? Pero iba yung nagluto nun. Iba yung consciousness nila. Pwedeng tinikman na nila yun, in-enjoy na nila yun. You don't know what they put there. Di ba? So, iba rin yung pag, di ba may mga restaurant na vegetarian pero yung cook hindi vegetarian. Iba rin yung consciousness nun. So, syempre, if you want to offer kay Krishna, I mean, no cook, they offer some fruits. So, offer some fruits kay Krishna. Kung hindi ka palagi makapagprasyadam, offer some fruits kay Krishna. You don't need to cook that. Just cut it, offer it kay Krishna. So, at least you have prasyadam and you're offering kay Krishna. And, alam mo, it's the way they develop yung personal relationship kay Krishna kasi you're offering something. Diba? Gigising mo siya, papatulogin mo siya, you're offering flowers, incense, water. Then, alam mo yun, personal. And napapractice mo yung consciousness. So, it's, yung life natin dito, it's a practice. Ano yung service mo kay Krishna. Hopefully, nasagot ko yung, ang haba nasagot ko kasi yun, doon, no? Hopefully, nasagot ko yung tanong mo regarding the consciousness of food. Oh, yes. Good thing the class is recorded. Oh, naka-record pa ba? Naka-record pa naman. Yeah, no plans of going back. Nararamdaman ko na kung malungkot yung ulam ko. I'm very sorry. You will not unsee. Kahit favorite mo pa yan. Hopefully, I did not scare you just like the other process. Like yung ibang tao, they're scaring everyone. They're instilling fear and violence. But, well, we just need the knowledge and kindness. Then, even yung favorite mo, just like, when I started, lahat ng favorite ko, in-offer ng parents ko sa akin. Wala ka ng taste. You know the, you know the reason behind. And, eto yun, when you practice this, matututo ka magbasa ng ingredients dun sa bibling mong food. Pag nasa mall ka, nasa grocery ka, babasahin mo na. Ay, may egg. Ay, may fish. Or diba, pag milk product, ay, may D3. Parang hindi mo na babasahin isa-isa. Lumulutang na siya, nag-highlight na siya. Ay, hindi pwede sa akin to. So, inaalam mo rin kung saan galing yung food mo. Mas magiging healthy ka nga naman. Diba? Anong halo neto, diba? Although pag nag-Starbucks ka, may mga plant-based na dyan. But you have to check if may egg. Kasi may different categories pa sila, lacto, ovo, vegetarian. Ganun. So at least eggless, fish, walang meat. Diba? It's up to you if you gusto nyo maging vegan or lacto-vegetarian with dairy products. So yes, mararamdaman talaga yung ulam. And sasarap yung gulay. Mas ma-appreciate mo yung gulay. Kahit very simple lang. Sanitarium, yan cake ko. Sobrang old school, di ba? Sanitarium. Sa Bendia. So, ilan lang dati yung vegetarian restaurants. So, pag may listahan ka nun, sobrang importante yun. Pwede pa i-forward yun sa iba. Sanitarium, green sa Quezon City. Wala na. Ganun lang dati. Body. Take it easy. No, Prabhu, you said take it easy. Yes, take it easy. Take it easy lang. The practice of bhakti, wherever you are right now, you can start. But you don't have to jump na kung ano yung practice nung 20 years, 10 years na nagka-practice. Ganun ka na kagad. But hindi mo pwedeng tambayan na one round ka lang 1 year. You're gonna improve. Gawin mo minimum mo 2 years after a month. Kailangan progressive ka para sa practice. Even the diet. Oy, wala na akong red meat for 1 month. Ano next mo? Ando ka na lang, di ba? You can improve. Oy, sige, babawasan ko na yung white meat. Tapos fish and egg na lang. If some could do cold turkey, mabilisan lang. If not, then do it slowly but surely. The practice of bhakti is not marathon or parang shooting star. Bubuluso ka lang tapos intro lang pala yung kaya mo gawin. It's a long process, forever process. Like sabi ni Krishna, forever hearing, forever chanting. So slowly, don't scare your relatives then, yung mga housemates mo. Don't scare them then. Ang weird na natin. What do you think of halal meat? Um, Halal is based on the scripture na hindi gumamit ng food or animals na certain category. Just like the Adventists, di ba? May part na sa Bible din. They don't eat yung mga vegetarian sila pero nasa linya sila ng Christianity. So, based on the scriptures pa rin. Tapos, others naman, well, may specific silang mga diet and all. But actually, may process, may isang, sa history, may isang part ng Christianity, yung mga original Christians, they are vegetarian. The Buddhists, originally vegetarian. Kasi ang teaching ni Lord Buddha, although impersonalistic, pero si Krishna rin yun, incarnation ni Krishna. We'll learn bakit niya ginawa yun. Ang teaching niya is ahimsa, non-violence. But not all Buddhists now are vegetarian. Nag-watered down na rin, katulad ng sabi kanina. So take it easy. Kung ano yung kaya natin, i-take. Slowly but surely. And don't compete sa ibang tao. So, ganito na siya. Ang technique, sarap po magluto. If you want to also share the food or the diets to others, sarap po magluto. Kung may anak ka, sarap po magluto. That's a challenge. Diba? You have to spend time to learn, to experiment. Of course, you can follow this recipe. Yan. Yes, marami tayong may mga cookbooks nga rin dito sa temple if you want. And also, yung mga access ng spices, how to cook. Di ba parang, paano yun? Pwede bang sabi mo walang onion garlic? Yes, pwedeng walang onion garlic. Mabubuhay ka ng ganun. Filipino lang lahat may onion garlic, pati yung rice may garlic. Baka pati yung salad may garlic, pati yung chips may garlic. So, pwede ka mabuhay na walang garlic and onion. Because these food are in the mode of passion. And it increases the libido of the body. And alam mo yung dog or cat kapag inhit sila, yung niya, ang ingay-ingay niya. Or yung dog irritable, nang-aaway. Diba? Kasi inhit sila. Imagine kapag everyday yung tao ganon. Because of the food. So, pag nawala yun, may mental clarity. Then you can control your senses. Diba? So, that's why we must be careful din sa food. Yung talong ni Dan. Diba? May mga aphrodisiac na mga food that makes your senses wild. Yan. So, taste well of being. Yeah, I think Sadhguru medyo dinidiscuss niya rin yung consciousness sa by food. By food, yes. And madami. Actually, because of Srila Prabhupada, actually, we cannot deny it na even yung yoga, yung veganism ngayon, is because of the movement Srila Prabhupada started, bringing it to the West. So, even yung mga practice ng mga spirituality in New Age ngayon, because Srila Prabhupada started this. Not all of them become Krishna conscious or monks. Kaya may Higher Taste na book. That's a very nice cookbook. So, maganda yung classic yan. My munggo is now edible. Yan. So, yes, meron mga cookbook that you could learn how to cook. Even sa YouTube, madami din. You must try to find yung mga cooking videos ng mga devotees. Kasi they're speaking about consciousness then. Not just cooking materially, even the consciousness. So it's not just the material taste na gusto natin. We want the spiritual taste. So it's gonna be food for the soul. So yes, actually, if you want, you can set up a Google Drive. I could upload. I have a lot of ebooks, spiritual ebooks. Mag-asawa ko, I have my Kindle. Of course, I have a lot of actual books. Pero when I travel, sa Kindle lang lahat sila. So, yeah, Carly, set up a Google Drive. Hindi kasi ako marunong mag-set up nun, pero I could upload. Marunong mag-upload. Kasasyahan nyo na. Outdated monk. I'm just trying my best and trying hard to learn about this technology now. Pero dati, ang dami kong updated ako sa ganyan. Nawala ako actually, quit ako dati sa social media. Quit ako ng mga ganun. Bumalik lang ako nung nag-pandemic. Kaya siguro si Bea, hindi kami magkakita dati. Wala ako sa ano. Bumalik lang ako nung Taal Volcano kasi I have to raise funds for Food for Life. Then pandemic. Tas, yeah, hindi na ako makatakas ulit. Well, I meet a lot of you naman. So I can send mga ebooks, cooking stories, Mahabharat, di ba? Ang daming ebooks. If you're fond of reading. If you're also in Kindle. I love Kindle kasi walang notification. Sakit. Anong angulo ka pwede magbasa? So yes, record to. Anong oras na? Thank you very much, my dear ones. Ganun talaga. Masarap magkwentuhan. And spiritual topics. 1 hour Q&A. Yeah. It's just like a podcast, di ba? Next time you can open your mic much more so we can hear from you. I would love to hear your realizations then. Then the assignment I will post sa ating hindi ko pinakita pero I'll post naman sa sa ating group chat. It's another film review. Actually marami pero depende sa oras nyo. Makikita natin. If you love film, I really love film. Nag-start ako mag-filmmaking then dati. Photography, digital, saka film, saka movie. So pag nasa India ako, lagi ako nag-shoot doon. Lagi ako may camera. So I have mga 6 years ko na nagawa nandun sa nasa Monkey in the Middle YouTube. May mga few ako nagawa doon if you want to travel sa India. Kasi pag nandito tayo, film viewing tayo. Sana matapos na itong pandemic so you can all go here. Thank you very much, Keiko, PY, Mara, Dan, Carly, si Krisha, Bea, Maui, and of course, nawala si Milka. May you, please, if hindi pa kayo tapos mag-chant, please do so. And if you want to join yung Japa session every morning, we have every day. The Monkey in the Middle podcast, wala every Tuesday and Sunday. But tuloy-tuloy tayo for our classes Monday to Thursday pa rin evening. Thank you very much. Take it easy. And marami pa tayong topic na papag-usapan. So, don't die. Don't let this pandemic kill you. We have a lot of topics to discuss. Ang dami niyo pa rin questions. And if you want the link dun sa YouTube, let me know. Yung Vedic Cosmology, the other films and all. Always honored and humbled with your presence. So may you sleep well and dream of Radha and Krishna tonight. Hare Krishna, everyone.